Welcome back, everyone. This is PyProTech coming back to the channel once again. So I have a good news for you. So today is the very last exercise in this Python refresher. Once you learn this, every project you do will get easier, and obviously I have told you that I will show you projects like proper web pages. So thank you for the love and support. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and let me tell you, today's class would be longer than usual because it's a big information which has to be let out to you guys. So let's get started. So as I said, we're gonna learn about classes. I have already opened a web page for you, so I'll have this in the link description below, and let's get started. So Python is an object-oriented programming language. Everyone knows that because I think I have mentioned this in the introduction video. So class is like an object constructor or a blueprint for creating objects. For example, class, my class, and then x equals to 5. So for more information or for more understanding, I'll just show you. Let's zoom in, and then alright, let's zoom out. So for example, let's say we're naming our class as dog. Alright, so you can put methods which is inside of a class. So it is necessary for you to put a method. So for example, I want to put a method. So what will I do? I'll do def and then bark. So this is a method, and then what I have to do next is print, and then in this quotation bark. So over here, this is a method called bark. So whatever you have to put is the method next to def. So obviously we have to name as dog as a variable. So my dog equals to dog, and then parenthesis, and then you have to call the method which is my dog dot bark. Oops. So let me tell you in advance that this code will give an error. Why will it give an error? Because if you want an object from some of a class called function, it will pass in that object as a first parameter to the function. Okay, this might look a bit hazy, but then let's just show you. First I'm going to show you the output. So let's go to CMD. And those people who have Mac OS, open a terminal. So I'll go to the directory I have this, which is in C desktop. So go to the directory repository, so cd desktop, and there it is. And if you want to see any files, so do dir, and for Mac OS do ls. Alright, so I'm just gonna do dir, and then boom, those are my desktop files. So now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do python refresher.py, and you see it clearly says that it is giving an error. Why? Because bark takes 0 positional arguments, but I was given. So the thing about CMD and Python, it fluctuates. If you make a mistake, it will tell you where the mistake is. So as I said, you have to pass in that object as a first parameter. So in this def bark, in this method called bark, you have to include a first parameter. So let's just say self. Self is a common parameter. There's nothing special about self. You can write ABC, you can write XYZ, you can write A, you can write B, or you can write C. You can write anything. But when you want to have a big code, then you have to include self at the positionary arguments. So let's go to our CMD and then to python refresher.py. Boom, it mentions bark clearly. It just shows bark. It's simple and really understandable. Now what we are gonna do, we are gonna write variables and then having age and name. So now let's just write more code. My dog dot name equals to, let's have mini and my dog dot age equals to, let's do 5. All right, and obviously we have to print my dog dot name, and to duplicate this line we do Control Shift D. For Mac users just do Command Shift D, and then boom, and then age. Now we go to our CMD, and to run this code, bark mini 5. So easy and is so understandable. So now we're gonna try something new. So keep it up just a few more minutes, and then after this class dog we're gonna define something. For example, we're gonna do let's do dog info equals to, hey, I am a German Shepherd. Oops, I'm really alright. And in this, after this code, we're gonna do print dog info. So if you clearly see, the dog info is inside this class, and we have inserted dog info as a string which says, hey, I'm a German Shepherd. Now we're gonna print dog info, obviously. So after this line of code, you know what it will print. It's gonna say mark mini 5 and then, hey, I'm a German Shepherd. So this is how everything fluctuates. Now I'm gonna show you the update. So if you want to update something in a class, I'll just show you how to update. So let's say you want to update dog info or the message over here. So what we are gonna do, we're gonna have a space over here. We're gonna do dog info, and if you clearly see, the Visual Studio Code tells you that you have a variable dog info. It just shows you, so it makes things much more easier. So if I just click enter, and boom, the dog info shows. So let's just say, now I am 5 months older. I have strong teeth and legs. I mean, you didn't have to write the extra line, I just did. And then now if you print it, it will update. What it will update? It will update dog info. Let's do Python refresher.py. Boom, bark mini 5. Now I'm 5 months older. I have strong teeth and legs. So now what we are gonna do, we're done with the basics. We're done with the basics when it comes to classes. Now for example, make instances, variables, want to make methods. So every time remember having self as your first parameter. So this, please just remember it as your first parameter. I mean, you can put any parameter over there, but just easier to understand. For example, in this next code, what I'm gonna show you is important, so please pay close attention. So over here, I'm gonna keep these lines. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put self comma str. All right, and then I'm gonna do bark plus str. So I'm just gonna put a string. So basically self, this is the first parameter, and then str is the second parameter. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add any line of code. For example, let's say I am a golden retriever. Oops. Alright, so now what's gonna happen, I'm a golden retriever is included in this str as a second parameter. So when I enter this, boom, bark, I'm a golden retriever. Now what if, and obviously these two lines are aligned, I'm just gonna put a space over here. I'm gonna do control save, and I'm gonna go to CMD. Boom, bark, I'm a golden retriever, mini 5. Now I'm 5 months older, I have strong teeth and legs. So that's basically the basics that you have learned today. Now I'm gonna show you a bit more code. Just hang there and let's get started. So let's just delete some code. So what I'm gonna show you is, I'm gonna show you the init function. And what init function does, I'm just gonna show you. Def underscore init, and then if you clearly see, init is a function, so it already shows me, Visual Studio Code shows me there's an init function like underscore init underscore, so it makes things easier like I said. And then I press enter, and then obviously I have to write parameters. So self, let's say self is a parameter, the name is a parameter, age is a parameter, and fur color is a parameter. So what this is, wait, okay, I put a colon over here. So what this is the init function. Oops, do Control Z, and then I put a, okay, that's a problem. So basically, okay, wait, and then I'm just gonna delete this for a second. I'm gonna do Control X, and then boom. Alright, so now what's gonna happen, I'm gonna do self dot name. So that's what I meant by this as a first parameter. If you want to write ABC, you have to write ABC dot name. If you want to write XYZ over here, you have to write XYZ dot name. So everyone uses self, so it makes things much more easier, understandable. So I'm just gonna do self dot age, oops, my bad, self dot age equals to age, and then self, why am I self dot fur color equals to fur color. Alright, now I'm gonna write another def dot bark, like the same usual thing, equals to self dot comma str, like the code we did last time, I mean just like 5 minutes ago, I guess. And then I'm gonna do same thing, bark, and then exclamation marks, and then I'm just gonna do plus str. This is much more easier. I mean, it just splits the code, and then my dog equals to dog, and now my dog dot bark. And in this parenthesis, you can write anything. You can write anything. For example, hey, I am a bull. I'm an American bulldog. Alright, and if I go to CMD, I do Python refresher.py, but before I enter, I'm just gonna tell you that this will give an error. Why will it give an error? I'll just tell you after I press enter. Boom, it gave an error. And why did it give an error? Because you have to write the variables. For example, let's just say you have to write my dog equal to dog, and then you have to name these name, age, and the fur color. And where do we write it? Let's write it over here. Let's do my dog. In this, we have to write, let's just say Mark, and then let's do 6, and then let's do black, brownish. Alright, and obviously you have to print it, and to print this, let's do print my dog dot age. So what will it print? I'll just show you in a second. And boom, it gave me an error. And why did it give me an error? Because I put a full stop over here. So that's why Python and the CMD works together as a team. And then this should print bark, hey, I'm American bulldog, and let's put a space over here. So there's nothing to freak out when you make a mistake. Every programmer, every web developer makes mistakes, and what they do is just they see where the mistake is, because the CMD shows you the mistake, and then it makes things much more easier. And then bark, hey, I'm an American bulldog, and my age is 6. So the problem over here is, if you want to replace self, if you want to replace self, such as my dog. Okay, let's not say my dog. Let's say fave dog. So you have to replace fave dog with everything over here, such as, I'm just going to copy this. Let's copy and then paste. Let's paste it, and then obviously you have to do paste. Now if you see python refresh.py, it prints the same thing. So that's what I meant by, if you want to write self, you have to write self every single where you have aligned it with the function and the variables. So I'm just going to do control Z for a second, command shift Z, and then alright, and then Z. So it brought me back to my original position. So right now I'm gonna show you some default values. This is the last exercise we're gonna learn today, and why is it so important, I'm just gonna show you in a bit. So let's just say these are default values. Name equals to, let's just say, I'm just gonna delete this out. Name equals to, let's just say, Rob, and then age equals to, let's just say, 9, and then fur color equals to, let's just say, white. Alright, and we have to print everything. So print my dog dot name, and then print my dog dot fur color. So basically what I mean to tell you is, these are the default values. If you want to mention default values, you have to mention it in the parameter, in the parenthesis. So name equals to Rob, age equals 9, fur color equals to white. So if I go to our CMD, python refresh.py, boom, bark, hey, I'm an American Bulldog, 9, and Rob, and white. So that's it for today. I mean, we are done with the python refresher.py, and now we are allowed to do projects, and this will be an exciting course. We're gonna learn a lot in these projects. Everyone can make mistakes. I will surely make mistakes, but at the end of the course we will learn about the masters of Python programming. So let's end this video over here. Hit the subscribe button if you really like this video. Go ahead and subscribe, and tell me in the comments below what I should bring in this channel. So take care in this COVID-19 situation. Thank you for the love and support. Adios.